Alrighty, yo, what is going on, everybody? It's your boy, Mr. GDG94, back with another reaction video. Today we're gonna react to Billionaire Belly 2 with Bro with Glasses. Without further ado, let's get into it.
Man, this dude is off the chain.
Belly 2. It was only a matter of time. I heard rumblings about this movie for years and how bad it was, and I don't think I've met one person who actually likes this movie. Now you guys know I give everything a fair chance. I don't want to come into something hating it. So the question I wanted to answer is, do people hate this movie because it's a sequel to a beloved hood movie, or is it just that bad? Yeah,
Both.
It's that bad.
It's both.
Let's get right into it.
It's both. They didn't need to put Belly in the title at all. They did not need to put Belly in the title. They should have just called it Millionaire Boys Club, or they should have just called it. They should have just called it something else featuring the game. You could have called it anything else, but you call it the sequel to Belly. Come on, bro. Ain't nobody. Nah, bro. Because you would have got away with this movie if you didn't put Belly in the title. Knowing that Belly is a hood classic.
Says if you are the game, you need to go back to the drawing board because your game absolutely sucks.
There is no plot. This story feels more like a rough draft that never got proofread and they just turned it in. It's kind of like State Property, where the main character is in the drug game and he just goes after random dealers until he gets to the final boss. Everything in between is inconsequential and meaningless. They spend the majority of the movie starting subplots and introducing characters that are never mentioned again. The game plays Reggie, also known as G, who just did an 8-year sentence. Keep that in mind, by the way. I'm gonna come back to that. He hits up his boy Tony, played by Michael K. Williams, who is above this movie. You get a montage of him applying to different places. Of course, not getting the job. Because when you show up to an auto garage interview, you dress in an untucked button up and a loose tie. Like, what the fuck was you thinking? Side note, I listened to a few prison YouTubers, and Jay Williams mentioned that he got certified in various trades, such as plumbing and HVAC, while incarcerated for 10 years. He runs his own construction company and is moving on to trucking. The point I'm making is, G spent 8 years in jail and planned on going legit with no certifications.
That's some old bullshit.
Anyway, G digs his stash of guns out and starts robbing drug dealers with Tone. There's a decent shootout scene. A car crash happens with these two extras out of nowhere. Who was driving these cars? I don't know. They don't bother showing us nothing. Not to mention, G shoots his op's car, which explodes right next to these other cars, potentially blowing up more people. You think he cares?
Nope.
But look how cool he is walking away in slow motion. Sherry Headley, who is also above this movie, plays Alexis Douglas, an undercover Fed who's ordered to seduce G and help take down his operation. Not only is this character a complete idiot for using her real name in an undercover sting operation.
Alexis.
That's me. That's me.
But this has to be one of the most forced romances I've seen in film. I just don't buy it. They play dominoes in a club, hang out in a park, and have a weak ass sex scene. That's all of their combined scenes.
Facts.
So the eventual betrayal rings hollow. This kind of bothers me too. Sherry Headley is a beautiful woman. So please don't misconstrue what I say here. But you're telling me that this is the woman G falls in love with?
No.
My man did 8 years in the pen, comes out and makes god tier money. He can have any of these young hot chicks dropping their drawers, and Alexis lures him in with a game of dominoes. Sure.
You're Too slow.
There's a crooked cop working for a cartel member. He kills Tone. Obligatory funeral scene. Oh, not my baby. This all leads to the cop kidnapping Alexis and wants G to return the bricks they stole. I was expecting G to say something like, so what? And bang on him. Why would you jeopardize your entire operation for a chick you've known? I don't know how much time has passed. They don't tell us. We get this awful shootout, and I mean awful. G calls out the goons, right? They drive into the parking lot and just start shooting. Anywhere and everywhere. Everyone is shooting blind, running around, catching bullets. Nobody is taking cover. This one jackass is standing in the middle of gunfire doing 360 no-scopes like he's in a COD lobby. And when it's all said and done, everyone except G is dead. So fucking stupid. Cartel boss gets off. Crooked cop gets off after revealing Alexis as a cop. Then G kills Alexis. Awesome. And despite everything that just happened, G says this.
My girl turned on me. Tone is dead. The feds are on my back. I gotta start all over.
Start over. Dude, you just got out of jail, are on probation. You have no goons left. The feds recognize you as the leader of an established drug empire, and you have the blood of one of their agents on your hands. You cannot start over. Like, whatever, man. The movie's over.
The Rock says if you are the game, you need to go back to the drawing board because your game absolutely sucks.
I've gone on record saying that I love gangster movies. Scarface is my favorite movie of all time.
It's everybody's
Hands
favorite.
down. Any next to all gangster movies, it ends with a message. And the message is, the life of a drug lord is not pleasant, and it has consequences. The main character may end up losing his life. Someone might turn to the feds, resulting in the main character or his friend getting life in jail. Or the best case scenario, the main character is able to slip through the cracks and walk away for good. Even the original Belly, for how poorly that movie is aged, got this part right. Belly 2 didn't get the memo, and it's more concerned about glorifying the gangster lifestyle than telling the cautionary tale. And on top of that, the movie is the peak of black ignorance. None of the characters have any good intentions. They're all pieces of shit. Like when this guy randomly throws his 40 ounce at a passing van, that didn't feel like it was part of the script. And if it was, it served no purpose. If you're not selling drugs, you're either smoking a blunt or drinking a 40 ounce. And for Christ's sake,
You know there ain't no positive black females in these movies.
just ignorant, man. And it pisses me off the more I think about it.
The Rock says if you are the game, you need to go back to the drawing board because your game absolutely sucks.
Belly 2 has so many inconsistencies, it's laughable. First off, the game narrates throughout the entire movie.
Damn. I gotta stay straight out of this bitch. But it's just more bullshit after bullshit.
You know, like I was actually questioning whether this was him narrating or not. But who else would it be?
They want action. They want to force my hands on these streets. Well, they picked the wrong nigga.
That a young buck like you can do the right thing and avoid getting his.
Not the Deion Waiters 2K15.
And I thought his acting was bad, but this narration is cursed. Like, this is disgusting. I would have cut this from the movie entirely. The budget for this movie must have went to all of the shootouts, because the prison outfits are just white tees with the inmate numbers written in Sharpie. Here's where we find
Some low budget Tubi movies, bro. God damn. Some low budget Tubi movies, cuz. What y'all say, blood? Some low budget Tubi movies, blood. On Pyru. No, let me stop before I get shot.
find out how many years G did in prison.
The fuck up with you, homie? You just did 8 calendars in this motherfucker.
But when G is beating down one of his ops, he says,
Fuck, I just did 30 years. years because you punk.
Was it 8 years or 10 years? It's never followed up on. G goes to see his parole officer who hassles him to get a job. This is never followed up on. The movie is called Belly 2, Millionaire Boys Club, which is funny because Mike K here is pushing 42 and the game is damn near 30. You'd think this will lead to some New Jack City type-ish where it becomes a brand, right? Nope. G mentions it one time in passing
to the motherfucking $1 Million Boys Club.
And it's never followed up on. Another Fed named Tony Baker introduces himself to Alexis, and it's clearly setting up some romance angle, except all he does beyond this point is take pictures of her and G hanging out, and it's never followed up on. Now that I think about it, what could have been interesting is if Alexis and Tony were in a relationship and now his girlfriend Alexis is in charge of seducing a dangerous gang member, creating tension where Tony might end up compromising the operation, but that requires thought, which you won't find here. We get introduced to G's cousin Benny from New York. G tells Tone to keep an eye on him, and I could not find Benny anywhere in the last 10 minutes of the movie. Did he die in the shootout? I don't know! But it's never followed up on. A random chick who we've never seen up until this point just walks into the movie. Seriously, I have no idea who this is supposed to be.
Fake ass Mariah Carey!
She's apparently helping G move some work, and once she leaves this scene, we never see her again. And this petty MFer has the nerve to throw this little jab in there.
Guess who come out the law charge? Who? You faggot ass G unit niggas, man. I started to rob all them bitch ass niggas, man.
I mean, it was around that time period, man, when they was going back and forth at each other. So I mean, you was bound to get it. You was bound to get this eventually, bro. You know the game just as petty as 50.
Why you ain't get him? I'm on parole, nigga. Plus a nigga had the motherfucking police with him, man.
I know they was beefing and all, but dude, this movie came out in 2008. The same year, 50 Cent released his second video game and did a movie with Robert De Niro and Al Pacino. And here you are throwing shots in a straight-to-TV sequel that nobody saw. Come on, man.
The Rock says if you are the game, you need to go back to the drawing board because your game absolutely sucks.
There is an audience for everything, believe it or not. So I went over to IMDb and Rotten Tomatoes to try and find some positive fan reaction for Belly 2. Diane Gilden says, I thought the movie was very good, especially for young people who consider getting in the game of drugs, fast life. Smart ones will consider the outcome of their lives if they were to go that way, taking a big chance on being locked up or killed. Also, I've been around, and I do know, unfortunately, that corrupt police do exist. I've actually seen them firsthand. The movie was real life in some people's world/communities, and it gives some young person something to think about before going the wrong way, money or not. Lastly, the game that played Reginald was very sexy. I'd take Alexis' place gladly. It depends on what you like, movies. And I've seen so-called 4-star movies that I thought were whack in my opinion. Also, we know that things are not fair in Hollywood as well in the world, don't we? Fofo says, after Waist Deep, the game teams up with Wire star Omar, Michael K. Williams, and swagger through a Compton crime movie like it's nothing. Should see The Robbery. 2 shots and some sharp back and forths. Good visual department. Fans of the first Belly might not like it. This is a laid back style of video work. I personally prefer the color scale and kinda cuts. The slow-mos and beats were the right spots. The shootout are really something. You get the wit moments and the action too. Game toting a pump gun. Some scenes were a kinda cartoonish, a bit because how the actors look and dressed. All in all, of the 73 minutes, 25 is an all-time movie classic moment. Cut the romance. This should be made series. Atlanta, Miami, with Luda and Nelly, Praz and Trey. Should be good. Got a script that has got coke business, The Bay, swamp alligators, Eye of the Storm, with a rap star in the main role who's got a war between labels, and the shipment coming up a la Key Largo. Millionaire Boys Club is a good movie. Go see it. Over on Rotten Tomatoes, we all have anonymous reviews. This movie had a lot of emotions, gang-related problems, funny parts, sadness, and happiness. Overall, it was a pretty straight movie. What's up, gangsta? If you're going to do a gangster film, go all the way. However, crappy the acting and cinematography is, this manages to be a gangsta movie. The game can only play one role, and that is a gangsta. I agree. It doesn't require a lot of acting talent to play that. For a gangsterism, job well done. This movie is badass. Keep it up, game. Yo, I seen this movie and it's one of the best movie I ever saw, you dig? Nigga, quit hating. This shit was hard. Y'all just hating cause y'all quit hating. This shit was hard. Y'all just ain't real street niggas. There is no hope for Black America.
The Rock says if you are the game, you need to go back to the drawing board because your game absolutely sucks.
What did we learn here, boys and girls? Apparently that black ignorance equals gangster. Wonderful. All of the negative comments I seen on this either hated the movie because of its terrible everything and because it carried the Belly name. Even without the Belly name, it's overall a poorly made movie. Bad acting, bad writing, bad cinematography, really bad characters, and it leaves a bad taste in your mouth. I couldn't recommend this movie to anybody, and only those with the IQ of a goldfish can enjoy this. And that was Belly 2. Good lord. This is a contender for...
I mean, you can enjoy it, just turn your brain off. I don't get why people can't turn their brains off for a quick second and just sit back and watch a movie. Is it that hard to turn your brain off? I guess some parts are gonna make you question shit, but for the most part, just turn your brain off and be entertained. It's not that hard. I wish people learned to do that. But anyways, though, that's just gonna about do it for this one. This is definitely not a hood classic because one, they did not have to put the Belly name into it. They ruined the Belly series with this alone. But anyways, just gonna about do it for this one. Definitely not a hood classic. Definitely not a movie you just say, hey, I want to watch it. This is a movie that you just gotta be scrolling through the TV and it's just on. And you just sit there and watch it just because it's there. But anyways, just gonna about do it for this one. I'll see y'all in the next video. Till then, peace out.